OpenTelemetry is a collection of standards, protocols, and tools on which SaaS observability providers, tooling, open source solutions, and many more can all agree and all communicate with one another using the OTLP format, that's the OpenTelemetry protocol format. What this enables is a single point, a single place in which all data can flow, be routed, transformed, controlled, and ultimately arrive at its destination without dealing with the crazy tool sprawl that often hits open source tooling communities. In a typical stack, one might have FluentD, FluentBit, Prometheus, might have something like Zipkin or Jaeger for tracing, and all of these different tools have their own specific quirks, conventions, and languages. However, if you use OpenTelemetry for everything, then you can collect your logs, metrics, and traces, route them into a single place, and then send them to the most important destinations, for example, to Coralogix as a SaaS observability provider, or to a database for long-term storage, to an S3 bucket, for example, for long-term holding as well. Lots and lots of different places to go. Now, Coralogix natively integrates with OpenTelemetry for logs, for metrics, and for traces. In fact, our traces depend on the OTLP format. What this means is we're fully invested in OpenTelemetry. If you've been through a managed onboarding with Coralogix, you'll know that we almost always install OpenTelemetry and we never install any of our own proprietary vendors for this specific reason. OpenTelemetry is awesome. There's really no point in us reinventing the wheel, and because it's an open source solution that's entirely configuration driven, there's no vendor lock-in at all. You instrument your code using OpenTelemetry, you run OpenTelemetry daemon sets, and you simply configure them to point to Coralogix. It's really that straightforward. Coralogix offers lots and lots of different ways to get connected. So we have documentation here for deploying the OpenTelemetry agent to Kubernetes. We also offer a Lambda layer as well, so you can collect serverless data and much more. We even have a baked-in Coralogix exporter for the collector contrib repository, which means that when you install OpenTelemetry without any specific Coralogix code in there, it will automatically come pre-built with this Coralogix exporter. That means that you can do everything in a completely configuration-driven way. Now, what all this adds up to mean is that Coralogix and OpenTelemetry work really, really nicely together. And the power of OpenTelemetry is if any point you wish to change providers, it's simply a config change, no need for code changes. So the dream of OpenTelemetry, and the reality in many ways, is it's the last integration you'll ever need, because everybody else integrates with OpenTelemetry. It's the ultimate piece of middleware, and that's why we're such emphatic supporters of it. In this section, we're going to break down some tutorials for how you can connect OpenTelemetry from Lambda, from Kubernetes, as well as some other commonly used data formats and hosting platforms.